there are some issues that we're still needing to explain ourselves on. Like, for instance, when they're asked about questions of socialism, they are polling higher than most Americans that this might not be such a bad idea. When they're polled, though, about free enterprise, they say that that's a good idea. So sometimes we might need a little bit more explanation. But on cap and trade, in polling done by Zogby, 73% of blacks said that they would oppose new taxes on energy to address environmental concerns and to finance alternative energy sources. 73%. And in a recent poll done by Gallup, 22% jobs are the most important problem, and only 3% that said that the environment was. And yet, what do we have? A new Democrat cap and trade bill has just been introduced in the Senate. Many of you that are following the issue already know that the House has passed their bill. And now Senator Kerry and Lieberman have introduced a new bill. And for the areas like Long Beach, which is where I will be representing, this is we have in Long Beach one of the world's largest ports. And here's what you should keep in mind. I'm going to quote again from now the Wall Street Journal. In quote, "Since America is not a planet, Kerry Lieberman would have little to no effect on global carbon dioxide concentrations as the Chinese, Indians, and Brazilian economies expand. But the bill will impose carbon tariffs on countries that don't adopt similar restrictions, likely leading to a trade war." Now, specifically in my district, I want to bring up something for you as well. The Port of Long Beach, because it does impact you. You might not live in Compton, Carson, Long Beach area, even Los Angeles area, but it impacts you. Because the Port of Long Beach, recognized worldwide as the second busiest in the United States, handled 5,067,597 shipping containers in 2009, with the value of cargo being at more than $120 billion. This cargo was distributed by 4,746 vessels that moved through Long Beach's 80 berths. Don't I have the most wonderful researchers on my campaign? Additionally, Long Beach is the 17th busiest port in the world, and if combined with the port of Los Angeles, it would be the 5th largest port in the world. Now, it's been named the best seaport in North America. I could brag about it already, even though I just moved into the district, by Cargo News Asia. 13 of the last 14 years, the Port of Long Beach provides 30,000 jobs to the workers living in that city. 316,000 jobs in the 5 counties around the city, and 1.4 million jobs throughout the United States. It brings in more than $5.9 billion a year in local, state, and federal taxes. I think that you would agree with me that this is a very important port for our area and for our nation. This port provides more than $14.3 billion in wages and salaries supported by the activity, and the port represents more than 4% of all wages and salaries in our region. The bottom line is this: our country is in debt way over its head. We can't pay the entitlements we've been promised already. We've been promising future generations. California's unemployment is 12%. Our nation's unemployment is still almost 10%. We are in trouble. This is not a time for the left-wing, big government pipe dreams that have gotten us into this mess to be expanded. This is a time for us to get very, very active in our clubs, in our communities, and make sure that we can set our priorities in place. I think by now you might have an idea of the kind of priority that I've put on the cap and tax, which is none. But I do think that we should spend some time fighting the Kerry Lieberman bill. Because California already passed a cap and trade bill. It's called AB 32. Some of you may know that, in 2006. And all that has been done since then has been a 2006, yes, right in 2006, 2007. But because there are uncertainties, all it's done is expanded the bureaucracy. And the bureaucracy has been confiscating billions of dollars from our oil refineries and our electric companies. $57 billion that we can find just in administrative costs alone. They're moving around deck chairs to try to figure out what it is that they're going to do to be able to stop us from killing ourselves because we're warming. So in November, we Californians do have an opportunity to do something. We can suspend AB 32. This is on our ballot. It's a jobs bill. And what it will do, it will suspend the implementation of AB 32 until the state's unemployment rate falls to 5.5%. I think that this is a good idea. Now, there are some that are saying that we will never get back down to those numbers. I don't think that they know the real California dream. I don't think they know people like myself who, after when I was in high school, making horrible decisions, after getting myself to where I was in that little dark hole, living on welfare 7 years in and out, 3.5 years consistently, after receiving the Lord and then getting myself in college and starting a business. After all of these things, I was able to get to the point where that business was successful enough for me to transition into running now a think tank in Washington, D.C. And after that, being able to now heed the call to come back here and represent Republicans in the 37th district of the congressional Congress. No, they don't know Californians to think that we cannot get our unemployment numbers back down to 5%. We need a jobs bill, not a cap and trade or cap and tax bill. So I hope I addressed it at least on surface. I'm not a scientist, so if any of you want to ask me any questions about the science of it, I can perhaps make a referral. If you are interested in finding out even a little bit of how I know what I know, then I can invite you to my district and take you on a tour of a refinery. And in fact, I'm thinking that one of the ways that I'm going to create jobs, or we can, together with the people of Compton, Carson, and Long Beach, create some new jobs, is to revitalize our little oils, the little oil rig, paint it. I'm going to paint it green just to make the environmentalists mad. Put a little park around it. Put even a little doggy park around that so people can bring out their doggy park. Put the history of the oil refineries, because a very rich history, and offer it as an opportunity for our young to bring their little school buses up there and find out what built this great country of ours. Thank you.